Hello and welcome to this short tutorial where I'm going to give you a few tips to help improve how you're flying in manual mode. So I'm going to give you 7 really handy tips that are going to help you to progress quicker and also to have a better experience when you're starting off. Now we're going to get straight off with the first one, and the first one is actually going to be to not try to learn to hover straight away. Although it might seem counterintuitive, actually learning to hover is much more difficult when flying FPV than just flying around. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you start off by continually flying forwards. It's much easier if you're just constantly moving forwards to learn the flow of the drone and how all the controls work with each other than it is when you're trying to make the drone hover in one place. You have to do a lot more coordination when you're trying to hover, and it's actually much more difficult to hover than it is to just fly around nice and smoothly. And talking about flying around smoothly, that is actually going to be tip number 2, and that's going to be to keep things nice and smooth. If you get really erratic on the sticks, it's going to result in a drone that's going to be really twitchy and really reactive, and it's going to make it really hard for you to keep up with all of the drone's movements. If you keep your inputs smooth, small, and really precise, you're going to find it's much easier to just maintain the flying and just keep ahead of the drone, because that's what we need to make sure of. We need to make sure that we're a couple of steps ahead of the drone so that we can accurately place it where we want it to go. The third tip is going to be to start off slowly. Don't just take off and then start ripping around or trying to do all these flips and rolls and all these crazy maneuvers. You're going to have to start off slowly and build up to it. So first off, just start off just flying in a nice straight line, keeping the drone in a straight line. Although it might sound simple, there are lots of external factors like wind and air movement that are going to bump the drone around and make it move about. So in order just to keep it in a straight line, you're going to have to be putting inputs in on the sticks in order just to keep it moving in that direction. Tip number 4 is going to be use that emergency brake. It's there for a reason. If you get confused or anything, tap that brake button, let everything come to a stop, reassess the situation, take a deep breath, and then continue. DJI put that brake function in there especially to help beginners, and if you're just getting out started manual mode, you should make use of it. It's there to save you, so use it. If you're enjoying this video so far, consider becoming a member on Patreon, as it's one of the best ways to support the work that I'm doing here. And I've also currently started work on a cinematic FPV course, and if that's something that you would be interested in, you can sign up below to get on the wait list, and that's going to give you the latest developments and information on the course. Now, I've actually also started a weekly newsletter which gives you the latest drone news, hot tips and discounts, and you can find all of that in the video description. Whilst you're down there, tap the subscribe button and let's get back into it. Tip number 5 is going to be one that's beaten to death, and the reason it's beaten to death is because it's really important, and that's to spend time practicing in a simulator. What a simulator allows you to do is get a feel and get all of the muscle memory dialed in before you actually head out to fly and then have real stakes with your aircraft. Now the thing is, if you already know the muscle memory from a simulator, although a simulator doesn't feel exactly like it does in real life, the muscle memory is definitely going to give you an advantage here, because you're going to know instinctively how you need to move the sticks in order to make the drone move in a particular way in order to avoid a crash or fly where you want to go. Tip number 6 is going to be that height is your friend, especially in the beginning. The more height you have, the more room you have to recover. So when you're starting out, make sure to give yourself, we used to call it in the days of flying RC planes, 1 or 2 mistakes high. That's where you can make a mistake and still have enough time to recover before smashing into the ground. So give yourself a bit of extra height when you're starting out with manual mode. That extra height just gives you more room for error. Tip number 7, the final tip, is going to be adjust your camera angle. Camera angle plays a massive role in how fast the drone is going to be flying. So when you're first starting off, make sure to start off at a nice low camera angle. Somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees is going to be a really nice sweet spot to get started. That's so the drone is going to be comfortably moving forwards, but it's not going to be moving along at such an insane speed that it's really hard for you to keep up and keep control of it. So make sure you have a nice shallow camera angle to start with, and if you need to learn more about camera angles, I do actually have a video here. You can go in and learn more different things about different camera angles and how they affect how the drone is going to fly. So those are 7 really handy tips that you need to take on board, take them with you, and just remember, take things step by step. If you take it in stages, it's going to be much easier than just trying to go out there and trying to learn how to do power loops and rolls and split S's and all these crazy flips and maneuvers. Take it step by step, and those things will come with time. But yeah, take it easy, enjoy flying your Avata 2, enjoy manual mode because it frees up a whole new world of opportunities. Apart from that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.